Today we're continuing to read The Brothers Karamazov. You're doing it now, muttered Miusov with disgust. Father Zosima scrutinized them both in silence. Am I? Would you believe it? I was aware of that too, Pyotr Alexandrovitch. And let me tell you, indeed, I foresaw I should, as soon as I began to speak. And do you know, I foresaw too that you'd be the first to remark on it. The minute I see my joke isn't coming off, your reverence, both my cheeks feel as though they were drawn down to the lower jaw, and there is almost a spasm in them. That's been so since I was young, when I had to make jokes for my living in noblemen's families. I am an inveterate buffoon, and have been from birth up, your reverence. It's as though it were a craze in me. I dare say it's a devil within me, but only a little one. A more serious one would have chosen another lodging. But not your soul, Pyotr Alexandrovitch. You're not a lodging worth having either. But I believe in God, though I have had doubts of late. But now I sit and await words of wisdom. I am like the philosopher Diderot, your reverence. Did you ever hear, most holy Father, how Diderot went to see the Metropolitan Platon in the time of the Empress Catherine? He went in and said straight out, "There is no God," to which the great bishop lifted up his finger and answered, "The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God." And he fell down at his feet on the spot. "I believe," he cried, "and will be christened." And so he was. Princess Dashkov was his godmother, and Poryomkin, his godfather. Fyodor Pavlovitch, this is unbearable. You know you're telling lies, and that stupid anecdote isn't true. Why are you playing the fool? Cried Miusov in a shaking voice. I suspected all my life that it wasn't true, Fyodor Pavlovitch cried with conviction. But I'll tell you the whole truth, gentlemen. Great elder, forgive me. The last thing about Diderot's christening I made up just now. I never thought of it before. I made it up to add piquancy. I play the fool, Pyotr Alexandrovitch, to make myself agreeable, though I really don't know myself, sometimes, what I do it for. And as for Diderot, I heard as far as "the fool hath said in his heart" 20 times from the gentry about here when I was young. I heard your aunt, Pyotr Alexandrovitch, tell the story. They all believe to this day that the infidel Diderot came to dispute about God with the Metropolitan Platon. Miusov got up, forgetting himself in his impatience. He was furious and conscious of being ridiculous. What was taking place in the cell was really incredible. For 40 or 50 years past, from the times of former elders, no visitors had entered that cell without feelings of the profoundest veneration. Almost everyone admitted to the cell felt that a great favor was being shown him. Many remained kneeling during the whole visit. Of those visitors, many had been men of high rank and learning, some even free thinkers, attracted by curiosity, but all without exception had shown the profoundest reverence and delicacy. For here there was no question of money, but only, on the one side, love and kindness, and on the other, penitence and eager desire to decide some spiritual problem or crisis. So that such buffoonery amazed and bewildered the spectators, or at least some of them. The monks, with unchanged countenances, waited, with earnest attention, to hear what the elder would say, but seemed on the point of standing up, like Miusov. Alyosha stood, with hanging head, on the verge of tears. What seemed to him strangest of all was that his brother Ivan, on whom alone he had rested his hopes, and who alone had such influence on his father that he could have stopped him, sat now quite unmoved, with downcast eyes, apparently waiting with interest to see how it would end, as though he had nothing to do with it. Alyosha did not dare to look at Ratican, at Rakitin, the divinity student, whom he knew almost intimately. He alone in the monastery knew Rakitin's thoughts. And that's the end of the reading for today. Have a good day.